Alright, so I'm gonna explain it to you about the function and not a function. So just take a look on the first one. So you given the ordered pair, and then you just need to put it in the x and y table and graph them, right? And when you put it in the map, these are the x. You just need to carry it into the x map, and then this is all your y. You're gonna carry it into the y. Alright, so to define it is a function or not, you're gonna see, will every input have one output? So x is the input, y is the output. And we can see the x is not repeating. They have all their own number, right? -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And each of the x gives just one output. So this is the function. When you look on the second one, you can see that 0 give two output. One is 6 and one is -6, right? So you can say, no, this is not a function because 0 give two output. All right, same thing for number 3. We can see that at 4 give two output, right? So this is not a function. And we can see that the 4 give 0 and 4. All right, so number 4, we can see the arrow point, -5 go to 9, -3 go to 0, -1 go to 7, 1 go to 3, and every input have one output. So this is a function. All right. All right, we're gonna see, find the domain in range when I give you the graph, okay? So I have a note right here for you. The domain is talk about the x. You're gonna take a look on the x-axis and you're gonna see where they go from left to right, okay? And when they talk about find the range, you're gonna take a look on the y-axis and you're gonna see how far they are from bottom to top. And I'm gonna show you how to find it. All right, so to find the domain of number 5, okay, domain is we're looking at the x, right? So this is your x-axis. We're gonna see, all right, so it's starting at -4, right? Open circle, and it's ending at -1. So it's gonna run from -4 to -1 of the x-axis. So I have -4 to -1. So this is what they say. So the domain will be in between -4 and -1. There's another way to write it, -4 to -1. Okay, or you can say x is greater than -4 and less than -1. All right, and because they are open circles, so the -4 and -1 is not included, so that's why it's just less than. If they are shaded, you're gonna say using less than and equal to sign. Okay, for the range is y-axis, and we're gonna take a look from the bottom to top, and we can see from this graph it's starting at -1 and it's go up to 3, right? At -1 it's an open circle, but at 3, let's say if it's at 3 and it's hit right here of the graph, the highest point of the graph, so we can say it including 3. So we should have the sign is less than and equal to. Okay, so this is also known as continuous function. When you have a line or a curve, it is continuous function. And if there is only point, like number 6, it is called discrete function when there is just the point. All right, so it's called discrete. Number 7 is a curve, so we can call them continuous function. Okay? All right, for the discrete function, they give you the point, and then you do the same method. All right, if they're looking for D stand for domain, you're looking for the x-axis. All right, axis from left to right, okay? And we can see because point, so we have to list the number out. So the first point at x-axis, we have -3 and -1 and 2 and 4. All right, so that is the x-axis. For the range, we talk about the y-axis, right? So bottom to top. Why? Because it's bottom to top, y-axis. So let's say the first point you have is right here, is at -3. This one is -1. And this one is at 2. So we have those 3. All right, so for 2, we have 2 points. However, we just need to list it 1. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you. All right, so this one right here, domain is talk about the x. So we're going to take a look from left to right to see where's the number land. So it's land from, this is starting from the left, it's keep going, and it stopped right here for this guy. So it's at -4 and 1. And because they are closed circle, so it's included -4 and 1. So we can have less than and equal to. All right, so the number from x from in between -4 to 1. All right. All right, for the range, we talk about the y-axis. We're gonna see where's the graph land from. So we can start, it is the y-axis. Let's change to a different color so it's easier for you to see when I talk about the range or the y-axis. All right, so you can see is at 1 is the lowest point from the y-axis, right? And then the highest is 5. So it's starting at 2 to 5. Y is less than 5 and greater than 2, right? Or it's between 2 and 5. Alrighty. All right, so this one is a little bit different, okay? Because they have the arrow, okay? The arrow means this graph will continue. All right, let's take a look on the domain. The domain is from left to right, right? So it starts from this point right here at 2. Somehow it's stopping right here. However, do you see this x just keep extending more and more, right? So that means x will be greater than 2. X greater than 2. Okay? And then, because open circle, so we just need to leave it at greater than 2. We don't need the equal one. All right, let's take a look on the range. Range means we take a look from the bottom to top of the y-axis, right? All right, but this one is a little bit different, okay? They have the arrow, so that means it's keep going, right? So that means it's keep going down, right? So we're gonna have to say, and it's starting at 5. So any number that less than 5 will be your range. Okay? All right, so you can take a look on the key and see can you do it or not and how to do it. Next one, okay, will be given the function and then you're gonna find either domain or range. So I'm doing number 14 with you. If the domain is 0, how much is the range? All right, so the domain is x. So this asking, when x is 0, how much is the range or f of x? Okay, so when I use the calculator, when I plug them in, when x is 0, I'm going to do 3 times 0. Don't forget to plus 1, plus 1. So my range will be 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So my first number is 1. Next one, what if the domain is 1? I do exactly the same thing. Now my x is 1, domain is 1, my x is 1. So what I will do is I'm doing the same thing. My x is now 1. 3 times 1 plus 1 will be 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. Just use the calculator. Next one, what if my domain is 2? How much is my range? How much is my f of x? So do the same. 3 times 2 plus 1, and I have 7. So I have 1, 4, 7, and you keep doing that for 3 and 4. All right. Next one, when I have number 15, this one a little bit different. They give you the range, which is given my g of x is -2, and I have to find the domain, which is I have to go back and find x. So what I do is I have the whole function right here will be equivalent to -2, and I have my first function writing. And then I take 10 on both sides, -2 minus 10, I have -12. And then my range is -1, so I set up my second function, 10 plus x again, equal to -1. Minus 10 on both sides, -1 minus 10, I have -11. And then I will do exactly for 0. 10 plus x is 0. So that means minus 10 on both sides, 0 minus 10, x is -10. So I have my first 3, and you're going to do exactly the same thing, and you're going to find -9 and -8. Alrighty, so for number 16, you will have a function, and they tell you the x. All you need to do is you're going to use the calculator and plug them in. All right, I'm going to do the first one for you. A at -1. So what we're going to do is x now become -1. So what we're going to put in a calculator, -1, okay, square or raised to the power of 2, plus 4 times x is now -1 again, plus 4. Put the whole thing in a calculator. You will find the answer is 1. All right. B at 10. So what we will do, this is your function b of x. B at 10, so we have 10 right here. 10 square, put it in your calculator, which is 100, and then take away 10, you should get 90. All right, so you just plug in and check. That is when you know x. Sometimes you doesn't know the x. For example, they give you this function right here. E of x is now 20, okay? So the function e of x is 20. So that means this whole thing right here equivalent to 20. They don't give you the x. You find the x. So you set this up. You have 2x plus 8 is 20. Draw the line, -8 on both sides. You got 12, 2x equal 12. You divide by 2, you got x is 6. Same thing to f of x, okay? F of x is -15. So the whole thing right here will be equivalent to -15. And you're going to go back and find x. So you're going to draw the line. -9 on both sides. You got -24. 3x equal -24. You divide by -3 on both sides. X is 8. All right, so sometimes they ask you to multi-step. You have to find f at -1 first, and find f at 1, and then subtract them at the end. All right, here's my note, how to find the domain and range. Okay, this bottom question is very much like the first part. I like number 15 when it mentioned about vertical line. Okay, so when you have a function like this, and you can use the vertical, where vertical means straight up. If it cut at 2 points, this is not a function. Okay, but when it's cut at 1 point every time, 1, 1, 1, 1, there's a function. Okay, all right, just read through my note. And number 28 and 29, you have to read the one, and I think I take a good note for you.